the lap, and he's got a side, like a decent, second gap here to second place. Oh, second place, Evan Campbell goes around coming out of the final corner.
Campbell backs it into the wall. Oh, and he's going to get hit by Jordan, I believe that was, and hit again now by Evan Campbell, by Blake Gambrell deeper in the field. So a big collision out of the front was coming up and around through, actually towards Foss's dip, went off the circuit, then went face first into the tire barriers, and well, the rest was history from there. Still off the track, by the way, trying to get himself moving. And here goes Ramal to join him.
He's got company down there. He actually gets.
Well, he's out of it now, so he's fixed. Cross to cover off LeBlanc, and here we go, side by side. He's up a couple of corners, and that's a lunge from the Reason Machine. And look out as the 9 of Clayton goes slamming down in towards Coca-Cola corner, and he's going to take LeBlanc with him.
Turn number 1. But like I said, the battle of the burger joint. Oh, man, the first burger joint goes off the corner. Burger King is sideways into the wall. RoboCop Smith goes straight, entering turn number 2. Guys, especially on the opening couple of laps, we're going to have a replay here. Oh, man, I can't tell exactly who that was in the white car, but he just kind of got loose coming out of coming off the Yokohama Bridge. Comes back on the track pretty nicely, almost out of Recaro corner as we get a replay here of the 63 going across the bridge. Actually doesn't even get to the bridge, goes off, clobbers the inside or the outside tire wall going into the bridge.
Heat race number 4. Lights it. Whoa, hard right-hand turn. Hello, the one away to Bell. Having a horrid start, and we pile him up before we even get to turn 1. How you want to start. You didn't even see the wheels right there. They're already turned to the right. And just turns right across the racetrack. And bada bing, bada boom. That's all she wrote. That collected half. Over half of bully in these Mustang FR500Ss. Whoa, hello, Ethan Kahn off the racetrack. That was through the dog leg.
It devolves into something that is just completely different than anything you see on the iRacing service. That's Bright going straight off the corner in the first dog leg. That's the sweeper going head on into the outside wall again. We've seen that so many times through the heat races.
Look at this one real quick here. We'll have to go fast as he's going to spin it around and goes face first into the barriers. And there's still more cars trying to find their way.
There's a big gaggle of cars going into turn 3 of the shell corner. And they're actually side by side coming off. Oh, man, another driver gets turned. That's Combs going into the outside wall, up and over. Can he get back onto his wheels? No, he's going to have to reset back to the pit lane unless he's inside in the Cinnamon Toast Crunch car going into turn number 1 and into turn 2. Oh, the Mountain Dew machine of Grant Jordan goes around going into turn number 2. He's going to spin through the inside grass, doesn't collect any other drivers, but another wreck happens right in front of him. I believe that's Wolf that's also off right with him.
Bigger wide shot here, and I think this is going to be the biggest story that tells what happened here in these opening couple of corners. You already see a huge wreck coming onto the front straightaway, and right here is where the entire field stacked up into turn 1. Yeah,
there was a couple cars that were 3 wide going through that first turn 1 kink, and the car on the outside just kind of got shoved off into the gravel on the right, and whenever he spun back around, everybody just kind of had to stop or run into people, and we saw a little bit of mixture of everybody else, or everybody doing, one or the other, and man, another big accident towards the front of the field after a lot of these guys got through the first wreck before they even got to turn number 3. I mean, I don't know. Oh, man, that's a terrible rejoin right there from the Burger King machine. My goodness. No, of course not. And you don't get penalized for a bad rejoin in this, so it's totally.
We'll start with Ken Rea. This was Rea's spin off the racetrack a little while ago, about a couple minutes before the yellow flag came out, spun across the racetrack and then slid right back off. Then, of course, he had Brian LeBlanc going off once again. This was down at turn number 2. Brooks Clayton had his spin off at the exact same place down at turn number 1. And I believe he, in fact, found the just kept it off the barriers. Nicely held. Chris Bright, he went off the racetrack as well. Can you think of anybody else? Oh, and he had contact throughout all of that.
Yeah, I think that was Raptor on the inside in the Chick-fil-A machine. I guess Chick-fil-A and Cinnamon Toast Crunch don't go well together. Oh, man, the 07 just gets spun coming out of Momo corner there on that replay. My goodness. The hard thing about this racetrack is you go off, there's just so much grass everywhere, and it's so hard to get back right in the right way. Get down. So everybody that went a lap down but didn't get lapped by the 11th place driver is actually able to unlap themselves here. So we're going to get a handful of cars back on the lead lap. Man. Second sector of the racetrack as we see a replay here of the 07 getting turned off into the gravel trap. that's pretty unfortunate from him.
On the cameras, but now he's going to be under fire by DeShantis, and DeShantis going to take him out into the Recaro corner. DeShantis trying to fight back, and Tucker trying to hang on with whatever he's got. He's going to take him out right back. Retaliation at Oran Park, and Crawford is caught him as an innocent bystander. Backs across the circuit. This could be huge. He's just going to get it off to the left side by the starter stand. Cameras, but now he's going to be under fire by DeShantis, and DeShantis going to take him out into the Recaro corner. DeShantis trying to fight back, and Tucker trying to hang on with whatever he's got. He's going to take him out right back. Retaliation at Oran Park, and Crawford is caught him as an innocent bystander. Backs across the circuit. This could be huge. He's just going to get it off to the left side by the starter stand.
Oh, man, you got to feel for Crawford right there. He had nothing to do with that, and he just, oh, man, another big accident going into turn number 1. That's Jordan going off the track into the gravel trap. He got tagged. Oh, my goodness, the action's kicking off again. It just took a couple laps after. But we've got, oh, man, just about a good
stop. There we go.
Oh, man, Flores gets hard into Bell going into turn number 1, and Flores is actually going to cut the track going into Coca-Cola corner as Flores goes hard into the outside wall.
And cooking
him, sorry. Let's see what happened here. Oh, man. He just gets his nose turned across by the Cinnamon Toast Crunch machine. We've seen him get involved in just about.
It was Blake Ambrose being kicked out sideways. Watch this. He's going to spin way off the racetrack. Comes back on and stops dead center right in front of the pack, and he got clobbered.
A lot of evasive maneuvers from everybody there. I hate to see that from the Cannabis.
Turn number 1. I think he was trying to let these guys through, and the Sonic machine didn't realize. And did Ronenberg actually get clipped here? I don't think he did. I think Ronenberg just kind of lost that all by himself.
Chris Hannigan, and we've got a tight battle between the top 5. Honestly, everybody in the top 5 within 3 seconds of the race lead. As Crawford goes in hard into Raptor, into turn number 2, and he's going to spin right around. Man, I was
through one corner. Whoa, took too much curve. That sent him out into the grass, and that's all she wrote.
Oh no, it's all over the place, it seems like. But I believe here the 72 kind of got stopped on the outside of the racetrack and was sitting in a very precarious position. Those are actually the leaders that just went by. They barely went by without an incident. So we see another replay of the 7 getting hard into the inside. I believe the 07.
Look at this one here. This is Rhea and Catlin is, whoa, hello. Catlin, heavy hit into the wall, and Rhea filed right back on while Catlin was forced to. Looking to fight back side by side up through Foster's if they make contact, and that's going to send Hannigan off. Hannigan spins it out. Romano takes the lead, and he has no competition, back to second place. Fight for second will remain in the hands of Augustino. Meanwhile, Bell trying to set up an over-under on Bellew, and he's going to dump Bellew out of the final corner. Mark Bellew finds the wall, and he'll lose out to Barrett as well, still trying to spin that car across the start-finish line. There's some sections of the racetrack. Klein going to drop 2 spots, loses out to both Crawford and Asilian. Up through turn number 3, we got another car going around hard in the back. That was Kyle Smith that we just saw slam the wall. John Bradley's going to get up and into the outside wall here, coming around their turn numbers 3 and 4, and it is going to cause the mother of all pileups working his way through here. As you can see, one of these Cannabis racing cars got upside down. That was the 87 of Asilian, and then, of course, Adam Klein stuck on top of the barrier as well. And we've had another incident, by the way, as Tanner Klein has had an off, and this is, oh boy, this is coming down through Skyline. That's how you know this is going to be big. He's got Adam Klein right behind him.
He actually does a relatively decent job. Oh, I was actually looking at the driver behind, but yeah, I mean.
So here's the initial incident coming down the hill. So that's what started this whole thing. You see one driver take a hard shot into the barriers. The 549 goes spinning way off the circuit. There's the 87 firing back across the track, and that's where Asilian came down and absolutely cleans out the 746. On this final lap, here's Crawford going off, and he's tagged one of the walls where it juts out, gets up on top of the wall, spins across the racetrack. Then here's Kyle Smith.
Fourth, fifth, sixth place.
You know
in
it
the
will.
Next race. Oh my goodness! It'll be a it'll be a 30 car pile up there. That was a leader getting turned there. Jeremy Castro's now inherited the lead after he had turned. I can't quite tell who that is. I still don't know the paint schemes well enough, but
we are still well back as we've got more problems in the background here as John Combs and more going around. Ronenberg taking the jump, and he's going to clear and fires across the nose of Castro. And tell you what,
Oh man, the Barbie machine of Nathan Cookingham goes hard into the wall. Oh, he gets turned! That's Harry Haskin getting back on the Barbie machine. The Simmons Coast machine of Christopher Flick gets in it as well. And everybody's stacking up through the mountain. Sorry, it was Chris Wright in the Cinnamon Toast Crunch machine.
And it is a complete and utter parking lot down here at the top of the hill, and it is continuing all the way down as we're still wrecking all the way down to the Forest Elbow.
And we make it through lap 1 without a major incident with a parking lot. I mean, we've seen it twice now in the heats where, oh my goodness, what an absolutely massive hit to the cannabis racing machine. I don't know. Whenever we get to this feature, I'm just after stack up.
Oh, we got another big off. Sean Brad has been punted wide, and Con will go with him. That's down in towards turn number 1. So again, of course, was up at the top of the hill as Adam Klein off again at that over in the chase, now spinning around in the traffic. He's going to right himself.
So we see a replay here, the in and out machine going down the bottom of the mountain.
Oh, there it is.
Right in front of him, just gets clipped on the left rear, and he couldn't get it right. It goes nose first into the outside wall, and oh my goodness, that's just a blind corner for all these guys coming through, and they had absolutely nowhere to go.
Look at the calamity as the Porsche Mission R Mustang that we saw finish on the podium last week getting kicked up and into the air as a result of all of this absolute chaos working down the straights. Here is Nathan Cookingham, who had a spin of his own. This is coming up and over the rise towards Skyline. So this is, I think, the cause of the first big, oh no, it's all up in front of them. You see the number 18 kind of got punted around a big bunch in the midst of all of that. So again, we'll try to back this up and get more or less a better look on what happened to that 18 car coming up. And more intense than we expected a lot of this to go. You see, they're already sideways up in front, and wow, it is just on. It is on from there. Look at this mess.
I didn't know Burger King had wings, but he went flying through the sky there. Oh man, I can't say it enough. And that leaves us plenty of time for that second caution to come out at some point. And I was just saying, you know, we need it to bunch back up if we want that parking lot we were talking about earlier. Oh my goodness. That's not the section of the racetrack you necessarily expect a big stack of. Well, I say that. The chase and the little kink before it could be some very different.
Take a look at a string of replays now. Here's Josh Freed. This was his spin out of the final corner. He went into the Repco barriers as well in the front stretch and just barely able to keep it out of traffic. Here's Mateo Dupuy, in the 703, having some sort of issue down the hill as he'll work his way down and around. Oh, he got... caught at a very bad angle there as he's further down in this field, but it doesn't look like we will be able to get it there. And again, this is actually turn 1 here.
I think I've seen the Cinnamon Toast Crunch car and the Barbie machine in accident back there in bigger packs towards the back of the pack with a bunch of other drivers that have been in an accident as well, and it just seems to kick off over and over and over again as we see another accident going into turn number 2. Someone gets spun around.
That was Badol's.
Looking back towards the back of the pack, literally all the way towards the back, going through the first corner. That's crazy because I saw him in the accident going through the downhill part of the mountain on lap number 1. So he spun out before he even took the green and then got wrecked again going down the mountain somehow. I mean, it's just been accident after accident. I mean, 40 cars on this tight circuit just don't work. Track of, I mean, that was only a...
Oh, that's how it started. We took a look at this one earlier, but that right there is how this one started with Tanner Klein getting dumped off the racetrack and then John Combs being spun around in the middle of the pack, and that's what caused that major pile-up towards Skyline. Stacking up, and one of the bet is... Oh, it's a check-up, and just wasn't expecting it, I don't think.
Multiple times going down towards the chase.
Cooking it.
A little bit of oh my goodness, Cookingham took a major hit and flew through the sky too. But Verstappen with the crazy acrobatics going down towards the chase. Oh my goodness, he just would not stop flipping.
One more from Cookingham here as he again slams that barrier. He is not caught as nearly as bad though as Verstappen was, who tumbled at least half a dozen times down the straight there.
Has taken the lead from Joseph Bell and then makes a mistake all on his own to give the lead back. Joseph Bell has to be grinning ear to ear every time that he gets past. He's just going to get the lead back. We got a car going backwards across the start finish line.
Yeah, Corey Barrett having problems, and he's going to nail the 22.
That wasn't the best rejoin I've ever seen. That was Oh man, if that was an official race, he would have a week-long vacation 100%, as Combs is just dropping all the way through the field. He was running around the top 10.
Oh
man,
no!
That's an equally as bad rejoin. Oh my goodness, Combs. Combs takes out LeBlanc, and LeBlanc's over on his lid.
Is no one... Oh, we are going to get some... Well, punting him into the flying stand, and therefore out of this race, and now Combs is stuck.
I think LeBlanc towed, and...
Here. In a bit hot into the chase. He's going to loop back into the 40-ounce Fords, and finds the wall. So pits, and this is the first one off. He's going to find the barrier down at turn, just out of turn 1 at L corner, and that's what's going to cause the pullback on and just call it a night from there. And here, this is what happened to Vietnam. Oh, he got spun around. Had a big off into the final corner, and he will loop it fully around to finally overcorrect it. But hey, he did a good job of hanging on to that for.
This is actually, I believe, Bell going down.
This is
going down through. Oh.
Whoa. Oh, wow. Oh, that was the lead up. That was the lead up to this whole incident. So we'll ride on board here with Verstappen and take a look at this.
Yeah, he just got put off by the car going hard into the wall. That's definitely not Bell, by the way. Man, honestly, a really good job for Verstappen. We saw him earlier.
Has had some sort of incident, and this is off at the final corner onto the front straightaway, and he has found the barriers, and he will back it up and across the track. And was that Verstappen again that just got hit there?
Didn't even go off the racetrack, so I mean, that's as clean as you can get from
a big trouble.
Big accident coming down the Conrad straight into the kink towards the chase. We have multiple drivers off the racetrack, cutting the racetrack. Oh, that's going to be some slowdown penalties for a couple drivers, I believe. Oh, man, the Budweiser machine coming off back onto the racetrack. That's Facker. That was up towards the front. That was positions 2, 3, 4, and 5. All stooping here towards the back. We've seen him off track multiple times through the sky. Oh, but man, the Burger King machine just got stuffed into the outside fence on the front straightaway. Absolutely nowhere for him to go, and nothing he did wrong.
Oh, Freed barrel rolling up at the top of Skyline, and he is out of the park.
Freed, he was running in about the 5th position. We're going to have to take a look back here, see what happened. Oh, man, he just got that inside wall there coming off the corner, hard into the outside wall. Comes back across the racetrack and gets flown straight up into the sky twice, 2 times, going up and over. And actually, that's a weird reset to get that.
At the back, he'll work his way back up onto the race course, and you see all sorts of coming behind, and that's how Armando got sent down and off.
Austin Tucker's in a side-by-side battle here on the front stretch against Gabriel Asilin for the second place. Back up the mountain, trouble spot all throughout the night. Wow, just really checked up heavy going into that corner. Was not expected from the car behind. Thacker just did not see that coming.
To flick, and there's already cars going off just up the road, and you see where everything kind of got started at least, and it was completely on from there. And then further on down the line, this was Joseph Bell. Oh, he got turned in the final corner by one of the Stereo Team 6 cars, I believe that was.
And as that happened, Austin Tucker kind of had a little bit of a run in.
Back right now. Watch this one go into the grandstands.
Oh my Lord. We're going to catch a replay of what happened going on here.
Dupuis, has he gone in too deep? Yes, he has, and he's looped it into the wall, and that's what's caused him to go around. And then, well, from there, I mean, there's just not a whole lot of you can do when it comes to getting out of the way. And that's what caused that little mini parking lot that we saw down at Corey Bend.
Behind Mac Verstappen for the 16th position. I have no idea how this guy's in 16th place after everything. Oh my goodness, somebody goes flying. That's Cam Meyer. He just kind of got pinched in the inside wall by Verstappen a little bit, I believe, there. And there's just not much he could do.
Oh no, as he's backed across the circuit at Skyline. Oh, there it is! Was waiting for that, and he's up on top of the wall.
Oh, and that's going to be Cam Meyer.
Post-race action you could possibly hope for. They're going to fire it up to the jump and watch the cars fly across the chase and body slam into the wall behind.
I love the fun that these guys in this league can have. Oh my goodness, they're still wrecking. They're flying under the armor roll over. I can't even talk. My goodness, these guys are absolutely hilarious. Yeah, and Chris Hannigan actually got a great start from second place. Oh, there's contact in behind. That's leader Tyler Augustino going off the racetrack there behind. He got contact. Sorry, it wasn't Tyler Augustino.
Of this field out early or off. Oh, more trouble. Look out as Morgan Otto spun around in the run up towards the uphill chicane. He'll get himself. He'll work around through. Yeah, just lost back in on corner entry there. That's an easy mistake to make. There's a bit of a divot in the road there. And that's a mistake that makes what happened, though, into the west chicane. And it's a weird place to loop the car at.
And take the second position going through turn 2.
Sneak attack for the second spot. As, oh, look out! Rhea off hard into the barriers in the Budweiser Mustang. This is into double chicane. Yeah, just kind of pinched in, cooking him. You can't really go too.
Now a battle between Verstappen and Rhea going through 1 and 2. Oh, Verstappen puts a left rear tire off the corner, and he's going to go around, cost himself the battle with Rhea and drop another position. Man, just got a little loose coming out 2, but then dives it in down into turn number 3 and just loses the back end and comes around. Not really much that Corey.
Tyler Augustino takes up the race lead almost immediately as we work our way through turn number 1.
Jeremy Castro didn't get a good start, but he's still side by side for the lead as we see a crash behind.
Oh boy! Oh boy!
Oh, big stack up. This is worse than anything that we saw at Mount Panorama last week. Whoa! Somebody's going flipping in the air doing pirouettes. My goodness, we didn't see that at all last week at a tougher racetrack with walls on both sides. And somehow we get a bigger parking lot here today on lap number 1.
What? Working up and around the hill. You can already see them racking up the road. And I believe that's the 45 that we're seeing kind of get collected. So we'll jump a bit further up the road. And again, we'll try to get a view with Tyler Carlton here. This is where this whole thing kind of begins, as this is working out to the back straightaway. You can see a few cars slow up the road, and oh, right there was a bad rejoin.
Yeah, I feel like this is a tough track to rejoin right, especially on lap number 1. But oh man, and then another bad rejoin, honestly, from the 45. But then he keeps it even. But yeah, I mean, major hits throughout the rest of the field. Luckily, we have no damage though, so they'll be all fine. And we got a set
down the front straightaway as that, I believe. Oh, look out! There we go. The 48 of Rodney Flores getting sent around, and Tyler
position though.
Now here's the critical thing. So we already had one of the Budweiser cars off the road. That in itself is a bad rejoin. It's very critical knowing though that the beer league admins, they're not. While obviously it's entertaining for all of us, the beer league admins have not been impressed with all of these shenanigans that we've been seeing. Not only
he started on the pole, he's back to 4th, and he's under heavy pressure from DeSantis.
And this is, oh wow, 2 separate incidents. That's interesting. You'd usually expect to see those incidents be somewhat connected if you see 2 cars off in such close proximity, but no, they just. That's unfortunate for Sealing. That was all by himself too, no contact. He just lost the back end and spun it around into the barrier, but a very harmless spin.
They've just been moving through the field really good, really clean.
Oh!
Good job. Oh, Danny Desiree goes around trying to get around Kyle Smith, and that's so far off the racetrack. If I see if that was just decided to leave the race.
That was Chris Flick. He got turned. Coming up and over the hill, and he didn't leave. He took the tow back to pit road. Self-inflicted, trying to go for that move as just got hooked together and didn't get off of him.
That's the second time. Unfortunate for him that, I mean, just touching that inside curb whenever you're side by side just feels like such a minor mistake that you really wouldn't expect somebody to get stuck like that. But unfortunately for him, he is, as we see Otto go off in the last corner. He's going to fall way back throughout the pack. Honestly, it looks like he's done a pretty good job rejoining. Man, he just runs wide right there coming out of turn number 4. Or sorry, turn number 3, trying to get into turn 4 of the right-hander, but or this is Bradley right here actually going down
himself.
Down into 1, just dipped that left rear tire off into the grass, and that's
Diablo chicane. Oh, they are related. He's been tipped by Freed. Drone camera that has done us a service here tonight in terms of catching replays of the open sections of laps here, and there you see he just got tipped around with the 34s. Not entirely Bell's fault, but this rejoin is his fault as slams right into the path of the 42. I mean, at that point, reverse.
You could see some people kind of short pit here to try to find some clean air, some clean track to run some really fast laps in and hope that going down into the corner. Oh, man, the Lucky Charms machine just really slowed up going into the corner, and, oh, man, he just got sent around. And then just another little bump from the back that somebody had to stop for. So not too rough, but our race for the lead is tightening up. It's now, instead of a 2-car battle, it's a 3-car battle. Eric Ronenberg has come all the way from 36th place, and he is now within a second of the race leaders. He has got them in their sights, and they're going down towards
Kane. Is that 55 Cannabis Race Machine right beside him? Oh, they've made contact, and that's spun around and into the barriers when he came around, and oh, he just cut the grass, and wow, one of the Cannabis Racing cars just barely. Car incident. This was with contact. DeShantis tries to go for a mighty lunge, and he was just never, ever there. Dupuy understandably cut him off, and, well, that's...
the way of our leader of Alex Crawford, but that does stretch out the gap to first place a little bit, but the race for second's really cool. Oh, man, Ray is going off hard into the inside barrier coming out of turn number 4. Oh, don't rejoin right there. Don't do it.
This is just lost control, lost the back end, took too much curb, and just side-slapped the Armco. I think the Flying Donuts machine is just lost by himself. No contact with Cannabis Racing will send the 0-0 around. In towards that turn number 4, this time by contact for the lead, and look out as off the track goes Jason L. Driver's left as he spins it off and into the kitty litter. 3 laps or 4 minutes the distance here in this opening heat race as we got now Evan Campbell spinning off, and he's going to find the tire barriers that time by.
Off-putting, seeing the front bumper completely fall off and then magically teleport back on the race car. But yeah, that was huge contact from Ethan Kahn going into the tire barriers there. Astro uses all the curb, gets on the inside, and he's going to break completely loose, go down into the grass, almost get the inside wall as a Cannabis Racing car. Harry kind of edges him out wide through the center of the corner, doesn't really give him the exit that he needs. But now Rotenberg's under fire for Free, but Free goes spinning. Deshane is almost goes spinning, but he saves it. Now they're side by side for second. Right, trying to go back uphill, and he's loose again. He's spinning it out, coming over the hill, and that's going to give the race lead to Ron Wolf with Deshaney's right on his back bumper. Heat from 8th place and actually gets to the inside of, that's Beckman there for 6th.
Oh, and Bellew went for the send as well, and that's going to result in him spinning the In-N-Out Burger number 11 up to Jason L, working his way up and over the hill. Oh, he's just lost the back end, and whoa, right behind. There you saw Corey Barrett and Moore being punted off the track, and there you see the 2 machine going around in the background. They were 3 wide. Crawford went down the inside, or that's not Crawford, excuse me, and there goes Verstappen being punted sideways, and happening back as, oh, he got punted from behind by the In-N-Out Burger machine.
Man, that's the same car that kind of threw it 3 wide last minute that took out Verstappen earlier. Yeah, that's unfortunate for Verstappen.
Oh, look out, Backer going around. He did the Morton mistake, cooked it on the, and is this a tip or is this over the hill? Oh, a bit of both.
Oh, that's a tough bit of contact to kind of rear end somebody coming over the hill right there. I mean, Morton was maybe a little slow on the apex, but I mean, he's got every right to that corner, so unfortunate to see him get taken out like that.
As well as Catlin himself had a big off-road excursion over here coming around through turn number 1. He went way off the circuit at that opening corner. Then this is what happened to Graham Jordan a few seconds later. Again, lost it on the curbing. And, oh, wow, he has struck the one place where they filled the tire barriers with concrete instead of water.
Coming off the corner. Man, he's in a Cannabis Racing machine sandwich and just gets spun off the front bumper. There's all over him going into turn 1.
And there's what happened. The 2 leaders getting tipped around and sideways through turn 11, working around to turn 12. We'll get a...
Coming out of turn 5. Oh, man. Just kind of got a car put on his inside, and he kind of just chopped his nose off. I think the car behind was always going for that move, and he made it pretty obvious. So that's still unfortunate for Jason L. Good job not making it worse by not making a crazy rejoin. But, man, another bit of contact behind him as Lane. Oh, Lane just kind of turned in on the driver on his inside, too, going down into 6th right after the...
he's not the only one. We'll take a look at Jordan Babcock coming on up next, as there you see Verstappen lose it over the top of the hill, and he just goes full slam into the barriers in the Arby's machine.
Back for Stupin, but oh man, big gaggle here in the final sector. Oh my goodness. That was just about a parking lot. We almost saw a repeat of Mount Panorama and Lime Rock there, but every call of staying out under that caution and is now able to, oh man, we see contact again. Is that Crawford no, it's Bellew going around. Now a huge stack up through turn 1. Eric Ronenberg having to slow down heavy. That's going to hurt his chances to kind of work his way. I would have been willing to bet he was on or using the clutch anyway and not using the auto shift mechanic or auto clutch. Because you can be a lot faster if you can master that.
Klein and Darren By both going off at the same time here. And Klein having a bit of a salesman by himself, and Darren By just a few corners up the road. Exact same deal. Up over the crest, just got loose and spun it off to the left-hand side. And then Corey Barrett having this problem where he came to a stop on the racetrack. And he has he looped the back end at 12? Yes, he has. Up over the crest. Once again, how many times have we seen that today? Let me guess. Curb? Curb.
Oh, yeah. Big time curve coming through there. My goodness, just skidded that thing sideways. Overcorrected hard to the outside, but, you know, he doesn't collect anybody else, so.
But it's not like, you know, if you take the wing off a USF 2000 car, it's all of a sudden going to have absolutely no rear grip at all. As multi-car collision out of turn 2.
I believe that's Jason L and Bradley getting into it there. Jason L has had a pretty eventful day, gotten sent around a couple times. That time was just his mistake, getting a little loose coming out of the corner, shuffled a little bit wide, just couldn't really hold on to it. But unfortunate for him is we have another replay, another car going around over the crest of the corner. If it was a piece of paper and it was just flat, that's an easy corner that nobody would have wrecked on all day. But because of that hill position right there.
Campbell in this one, as they were going side by side, come together right at the top and spinning the both around. I'll give Corey Bear credit. It looks like he was waiting on Campbell to give that position back in redress. Stuff it into the opening corners, and we got 2 cars going around in the background. That's Klein and Bright, I think, that have both been spun around at the tail end. Otherwise,
Right-hander here, kind of similar to, what is it, turn 3 at the Daytona road course, and he just got on the gas a little bit too hard coming out of the corner, and unfortunately whipped that thing right around. That's
in behind, and here is that fight down the field, and collision. Look out, is the 71 of Campbell going to be spun around, and he's going to collect about half the field.
Car coming back onto the oval. Is it blue? It looked purple from the other point of view, but
it's very much blue. Whoa.
Okay, I might just be colorblind then. He's trying, but I mean, he's kind of under fire now from, I believe that's Ron Wolf behind him, and Jason L gets taken out. That's Dupuis that came into the right rear quarter panel.
Oh, and hard into the inside wall behind goes Cooking. I mean, he's going to spin it on the front straightaway. Barrett goes evasive, and here comes the field, and everyone looks like they'll duck around him.
Through those couple of corners, these couple left-handers before they get down into the right-hander. Turn 7. Oh, but Bradley goes spinning sideways, as does Carlton right ahead of him down into turn 7, as multiple drivers are 2 and 3 wide all the way through 7 and 8.
And just 2 lines coming together on corner exit sends them both into the outside wall.
Yeah, and then Serial
again here on the transition.
You'll have to see. And also, we were talking about Alex Crawford. It looked like he was going to get through that very easy and clean, but he actually got clipped last second, and Crawford even fell way back. You're going to see him get clipped there by the purple cannabis machine. They just went off the race or off the screen before you could see it. But there you. Oh, that's plenty of time. That's plenty of time.
Whoa! Look out!
They're back in the pack, coming off into the infield section. Ronan.
Really going to be a slowdown penalty with how this track is laid out.
Oh, more contact as they go past Romano. A cannabis racing machine just takes out Smith going down onto the
Oh, he has given a tip from the 71 Flying Donuts machine of Evan Campbell, and around he goes. That's a bad place to be stopped at, too.
Ooh, great job for Verstappen there to get around the outside, not have to stop. You saw Jason L went to the inside and had to end up stopping. Good job again from Alex Crawford and the rest of the field. Just 2 spot. It looked like Tucker was going to have the preferred line, but DeShantis just did not let him have it. Oh, no, back for Verstappen. The commentator curse comes in 10 minutes late. He's sideways up against the barrier, and he's going to drop all the way down the field into last place.
And as Clayton went around in turn number 1, and the number 9 car sweeps around on a very long slide and finally overcorrects and loses it out of the opening corner. Meanwhile, we're going to go back to live pictures here in this one, as this is down the road. Whoa, way across the grass, and fires it across into the 357. Starting not what happened here first before we'll get back to what happened. This is coming back onto the oval. This was Josh Freed getting around and onto the oval, and then this was what happened to Brooks Clayton. But there, this is Graham Jordan, spinning out the wheels, and whoopsie daisy. Oh, and the Reese's Puffs machine got hit.
Oh, sad for Castro, because he honestly had that.
I think he's gone around by himself again. The fact he have to be turning while braking, catching a lot of people out, and oh no, he has been spun by the 058. That's what sent the 40-ounce Ford's machine around.
Tyler Agostino, we typically see up in the top 10. He's driving back in about the 27th place position at this point. My goodness.
That's huge, as that's a whole host of drivers now that have been
going down into turn number 6. Bueller gets one position from Haskin. He's trying to get the next one from Sealand. Oh, man, and Romano's on the inside of Harry Haskin and completely spins him out. That's another fast guy that you expect to be up front.
That's a move that might be scrutinized a bit later on, or it's a, whoa, look out, the 21 going around. Jason L being spun around the STP machine, and I think he was trying to come to pit road, and the rest of these guys, he's just working to the inside, and bit of a collision with the 9 there. They come together, and DeShantis gets hooked into the outside wall, and
turn 11, yeah. NASCAR 3, turn 11. Mail hot. Oh, goodness gracious. He kind of just came down on a ceiling there, to be honest. They're 3 wide with Jason L. And he just kind of drifted down the racetrack. It didn't look as egregious.
We'll look at Barrett first, and he's actually got Jason L with him. And there it was. I think throttling up a bit too aggressively on the exit of the corner. Yep. Spins it out. He'll take it.
Definitely not making any prints tonight. They're still side by side going down into 7. He's still got the inside line on DeShaney's. How in the world? Oh, he makes door contact.
Oh, no.
Oh, that's the second time.
Oh, boy.
So that he's going to win the race, and he almost gets taken out by a driver that's sitting 90 degrees sideways in the middle of turn 1.
Oh, just did too hot.
Yep. Small of the time frame for him to be able to cut down that 6-second gap as we watch a replay of the 63 going around on the exit of turn number 8. Gets to
after. Here's the fight between the Shades of Badol and a big shunt into the middle of this one. Tyler Carlton gets into Mateo Dupuy, tried to go for the clothesline, and well, now we've got a fight on the racetrack.
Oh, Dupuy is not happy, and they're both just losing
I'm not
positions
blaming
at this
him.
point.
That was so far from okay. I don't blame him for being upset with that.
So that was very strange to kind of see a couple of the front runners do that, but here's that contact between Madole and the 45, and it just kind of looked like Tyler Carlton didn't really use all the Ryan LeBlanc through the same corner we saw Hannigan spin out in earlier, and it looks like Hannigan's done it again on lap number 2, having a terrible start to his heat race, and that's going to drop him way throughout the
See what the Fuddruckers Diabetics machine will be able to do as he works through the carousel, and well, you're right, There he goes, right over the top, and goes out about as spectacular fashion as he could take, and out of the ballpark. So not opting to put too much faith on. There you see Carson Catlin spinning off the road, and I believe he has found the barriers. In fact, he has. Spinning down the racetrack, and then this was Adam Joseph Mailhot having a spin of his own. This was coming up and over the rise as he just spun it off, went way up into the hill, and again finds the tire barriers as he'll jump it down to the racetrack. And then just a couple seconds ago, Carson Catlin having another spin right after he got going in the 666 machine as this is coming down to the carousel. Loops the back end, and we're going to see a lot of that over the course of the night here as that he was already in pit road.
He was actually what? Oh my! So he didn't know that he needed to turn.
Did he not? He didn't know where pit road was. I have never seen that before. He didn't know where pit road was.
The heat race. He found it out when he needed to find it out in the heat race.
Start, and Babcock knows his mistake. He has taken the Sonoma jump, and he has failed the Sonoma jump. F.
He wasn't even close.
Absolutely F on that one. That's my grade for that one.
First sector there in Sonoma and was able to make it work. But man, DeShaney's dives it down deep into the corner and turns himself over the nose of John Combs. I mean,
that's our finish line as the field of 34 strong fires it up and over turn number 1. Big crash in the background. 2, 3, 4 going around as the field stacks it up in the opening couple of corners. We worked back around up the hill before we fire it down for the carousel. Who that is on his inside, but they all kind of come together right at the apex, and around goes Ken Rea, and that stacks up the entire field behind as that collects, 3 cars? But he's going to end up tracking wide, and look out as El spins it out, and he's going to just keep it out of the barriers. But now, 2, almost 3 wide. Tyler Augustino trying to off into the grass right there. Spins it around, and doesn't look like too bad of an incident there. Then Tanner Klein comes through, and he's found the tire barriers. May spun out again and just nicked Klein and sent him hard into the wall. And Combs, in too hard, gave him the good old bump and run, spun like around. Tell you what, it was a good save machine of Brooks Clayton. And around goes Ronenberg, spins it off the bumper and hard into the wall.
No harm, no foul yet. It must have been on throttle on exit.
Right there.
He just gets to the inside and makes contact. And
I'm willing to bet probably yes to the inside of Brooks Clayton. Oh, wow. That was just clumsy all around from all 3 of those drivers. Right. As in fact, Brian LeBlanc taking it pit road this time. A bit too hard into the Chastain line that time. He actually got slowed down into the wall. We got a lot of cars in the... Whoa! Holy cow! Chris Hannigan just made a pass entering pit road by taking the Chastain line. Take a look at this.
It's good to know there's a talent behind it or something. You can do it right, you can do it wrong. And Chris Hannigan did it right. I mean, he barely had the gap. He barely had the gap to be able to make that work. And he does going down in the pit road. What an incredible pit entry from Chris Hannigan to be able to just squeeze it in that gap, use the wall, maybe made a little bit of contact, but my goodness, Chris Hannigan, that was cool.
He was not expecting that one at all. He can thank his lucky stars. There was about
one in the first 10 to 15 minutes. Like most of the time, it comes out really.
Here coming up over the hill.
Came out hit that inside curb just a little bit and got into the outside or the inside of Crawford and just sent him hard into the wall. If I had to bet, but we're looking back at a ceiling on the replay. Looks like he might just get on the gas a little bit too hard with a little bit so long because he can definitely make it without taking another pit. Oh man! As he comes out of pit road, Ron Wolf gets into the side of Eric Cronenberg going through turn number 1 and spins. Shan is just to be able to pinch Romano onto that inside curb and they still didn't make contact. Oh man! Carlton going hard off the racetrack with who's that behind him? Kameyer, just both of them making contact.
Second in line, Rhea is in the lead. Klein sends it in and absolutely punts Ken Rhea around. Goes for the full spin. A little donut around Klein's car as then working on to the front straightaway. Klein, I think, is trying to redress and give the spot back to Ken Rhea as he was slow. And Rhea just runs over the back of him, just does not care at all. That is
last corner. We look at Ron Wolf behind him. Did Wolf just get a little bit too deep into the corner? No, Ron Wolf, no contact. Barrett just got a little too happy on the throttle and got a little bit of help, honestly. It probably helped him spin back out to get a little bit too much. Tries to get back down in front of Austin Tucker coming through, and it goes off the corner again and gets sideways again. I think at that point he was just like, screw this. I'm too drunk for this. I'm getting out of here. But honestly, that was a really good perch to watch the rest of the race. He should have stayed there.
Yeah, now for him, so we'll be all clear in the rundown. Oh, trouble in the background and hard into the right side wall goes Carson Catlin. Morgan Otto will just manage to avoid. Out of Net's corner, now working towards Panasonic. Whoa, one more car spinning off in the background. That would be Josh Freed. 666. And just going to loop the back end. Tags the wall with the left rear and gets Amador trying to keep in front of Brian LeBlanc. LeBlanc trying to fight against Sean Bradley as, whoa, off the racetrack and now around goes Bradley. Hard into the wall. And Brooks Clayton spins it round as well. Of this field in the 017, he is looking set to drive away as Carlton again. Nope, that is self-inflicted. And Romano just escaping a spinning 95. Shape coming through the corner, and he just got tipped by Adam Joseph Mailhot. Turned hard into the wall and kicked upside down. Fly up on him. Here comes Crawford. Aims square for the rear window. Who's going to bail? Does anyone bail? Neither of them do, and they're all going to come together. And it will be the two of Ethan Kahn. And looking like he may have just taken too much curve on the exit. Sends the 63 car up and around, and we are racing at Fuji. Big crash already. We're stacking them up. Verstappen and Gambrel going around to the tail end of this field. 3, 4, 5, and one car up and over in the background. We'll get a look at all of that and more in just a few moments. But for now, it started way up the road, and it was just complete and utter chaos. The two of Ethan Kahn, though, is the one that got plunged skyward by the Burger King machine and nearly went on his roof, but did not in fact. No, sir, all by himself. Loops the back end, spins it around between Cronenberg, Campbell, and Romano. Yeah, there it is. Just drove through him. Forced Romano out wide. He's going to loop the back end. Along comes Brooks Clayton with nowhere to go. And same story. I'm not sure who that was that drilled him. Down into the hairpin, and Zillion, in too deep, got to the back end and spun Bradley around. On in the Applejacks machine. Loose the back end, is collected by Brooks Clayton and spins it off. Blake Gambrell right behind. And wow, I mean, Gambrell just sends it in and cleaned Klein's clock. It happened on the restart. Everyone just went going when nobody else was. A couple of cars getting kicked into the air, but nobody going over. Maybe not. Augustino back to the inside. And he's going to bully Kameyer out on the left side of the racetrack. Crashing again, and Ronenberg is hard into the wall. Kameyer gets hooked. That may very well have been retaliation. Almost 3 wide again as look out. Bueller spinning it around, and Hannigan to slide sideways as well. Whoa, and way to the inside is Tyler Carlton, and now Klein gets turned. Tanner Klein will be turned around middle of the pack, and he's going to get it Adam Klein's way. This all came together down at the hairpin, and it caused a pileup, collecting Adam Joseph, Mailhot, Ron Wolf, and more. What happened in the final corner? Crawford just lost the back end, got too throttle happy. That's Adam Joseph Mailhot trying to get around Corey Barrett, and he'll lose out. Further in the back, look out as one car spins around. Jonathan Lane slams into pit road.
At the preferred line, now he's back up into 7th. But man, that was a really tough start from Clank.
Greg Bettman goes around to the back of the field. He'll spin the Flying Donuts number 42 out of that corner. That's so luckily not too much of a loss. He'll get himself sorted. Oh, and Bruzy's going to get dumped out of, I believe that to be turn 7, working back to Pine Avenue, or out of Pine Avenue.
Does close in that gap by about 2/10. Oh, but he made the same mistake hitting the inside wall, and now he's going to spin it out to the inside. Jason L. tumbling down the leaderboard in heat race number 1.
To come by at street circuits like this one just because of how difficult it is to pass, but club cars like these aren't a problem, and Morgan Otto will spin it out. Driver the number 30 will tag the wall. That was
giving the lead away. I mean, I wouldn't expect that number 1 spot to be too bad. Brian LeBlanc goes in with the race lead. Oh man, DeShaney's completely pile drives 3 of them going down into turn number 1. But he just compounded the error with another error coming through the Tech 8 turn and just looped that thing right around.
Just picked up the throttle, and that's a very opening corner. Does everybody make it through safe and sound? Looking like a very tame start into turn number 1. A bit of collisions at the back. DeCesare will be spun around. Working down through turn 1, and this is from the blimp camera. This is the only way we can show you everything that happened here. Is this is into the fountain section. Watch as everything just Constantina's up, and it is on from there.
You know, I'm kind of jealous of a lot of these guys. Typically, you have to pay about $50, $60, $70 to park in downtown LA, but all these guys got to do it for free there, so I'm kind of jealous. Just got hit from behind, but it looks like they're going down into turn number 8, and the 40 outs forward in front of them. That silver machine might have got a little bit loose before Clank even got there, but that's going to drop Clank even further down, and man, he just backed straight up across the racetrack.
Opening so far, and a bit of a clean opening so far as well. As I say that, Ethan Kahn behind, but not nearly close enough to cause an incident. And just we saw the Chris Bright overshoots, goes in hard, and that's going to lose him several spots.
And you can see that chrome machine of DeShaney's looking on the inside. How heavy does he break down into the corner? A little bit cleaner that time from DeShaney's. Not too bad, but a little bit of contact further back. Jason L goes head on to the inside wall. Not going to collect anybody else, it looks like. Everybody does a good job getting around him there on the outside.
Chasing, has he brake too late? Yes, sir. Runs into the back with the 666, and they both go spinning off. Catlin backed it in. Kahn went in face first.
Going, maybe one of those was in the heat race, but he just got capped from the inside there, going around Indy left, and really not much he could do in that situation. He kind of got
where a few of the drivers further down this field are. There's Bright just spinning around. Watch the left-hand side. Still got everything perfectly in view, and right there you see one of those machines getting turned around. Not quite sure which one that is. It's a Budweiser car, I think, and Kaz bruising, you can see it coming. He goes defensive. Whoa, boy, and Clank's not having it. Trying to get to the inside. There's no room, and bruising in too deep into the wall. He's going to take Clank with him. They both spin it around. The ceiling gets checked up, and now the entire pack getting botched up.
Coming out of here, going through the fountain section. Probably the same mistake we've seen Chris Bright make. Same mistake we saw Aaron Packer make. Just got a little loose. Actually, kind of right now. And it actually looks like LeBlanc did not get that penalty. I still see him on the racetrack. Oh, that's a terrible, terrible accident for Adam Klein as somebody's coming out of the pit road. Just got a hell of a battle for P8 right here as Barrett, Clayton, and Freed and Wolf are all under the blanket. Oh my goodness! Brooks Clayton goes heavy into the outside wall, going through Firestone turn. Didn't even get into, I can't quite tell who that is right in front of him. Darren by is somebody else slow coming out of the last corner, and it just kind of stacked up Aaron Facker a little bit too, but LeBlanc got off the gas. Tucker on the initial jump, being able to pull down to the bottom lane. Oh, somebody blew up already, and they're wrecking into turn number 2. Multiple drivers going around. Mac Verstupid, the pole sitter, Barrett Morton around. Multiple other drivers, too many to name, all in a pile, in a heap on the exit of turn number 1 and going into turn 2.
Track, take that look on board. Just bombed it down the apron and said sayonara.
That as they're still side by side, nothing between the two race leaders, just 5,000ths at the line. Oh, contact into the outside wall. Multiple drivers getting spun around, coming through the tri-oval down into turn 1. Not as big of a wreck as the first time around, so we still got most of the pack racing up towards the front.
Looking straight on, and you can see all these weaving around. Oh, the race leader, the Shady South gets hooked, and into the outside wall goes the 96, flying across the track. Cillian going evasive. He threads the needle and dives it up the middle.
Yep, and we're coming through turn 2 right here. Battle for the race lead, side by side. Oh, Alex Coffer gets turned heavy into the outside wall, head first, and that leaves 3 drivers for the race win. It's going to be DeShaney's Bradley or Jordan bringing this one home. Number 2 towards the back of the pack, Ken Rea 3 wide. Oh, man, I can't tell which one was Ken Rea, but one of the Budweiser cars came up on the other Budweiser car and just kind of squeezed him into the outside wall. So whichever one of those Budweiser guys was in the middle might need to check his right.
Quick look back. Oh, Cillian came down on the driver trying to make a pass down to the apron and hooked himself across the nose. Now, pre-race, we were told back up, but if you cause a wreck by being let back up, you're going to be penalized for it. As you got another car way off. Alan Kameyer slams the inside wall, rips the front bumper and the left front off, and he's going to have to come to pit road to get that damage fixed.
As now Ethan Kahn gets that run on the outside of the racetrack. Oh, man, big accident. Our pole sitter Carlton into the outside wall, head on. Multiple drivers scattering, trying to get around as Jason L goes around as well.
And will that be the big one? About, what, 4, 5, 6? I think that's enough to qualify, but Groove trying to go to the top, no room, and now we're going to get hooked. The 2 going around. Kahn hard into the outside wall. Caution is out. We're wrecking again. LeBlanc's been turned, and that's in the middle of 3 and 4. Heads up the field, flying up on scene. We got about 2 different pileups and both in the same corner.
And I see some tires rolling around. That could be big. That could cause some people to tow and lose.
Adam Klein hooked Kahn that time around.
The second one, sure, he kind of came down on LeBlanc, I think, right?
Yeah, it looked like that a little bit, and then I think both the Budweiser cars were caught up in that.
Poor Ethan Kahn just got
working to the top side. That would be the likes of Austin Tucker trying to make a move. Tucker into the wall. Look out as we got one going around, 3rd in line, and right back under control. Right behind, the wreck begins, and now we've got big trouble into the infield and sliding back into the traffic. Coffer kicks skyward as they're caught in the safer barrier, and this is a big mess. Coffer's up and over. This one here is it. I think a lot of that had to do with that giant loose moment we saw just up the road. This is with Coffer. Watch this. As wham! Hard into the wall and then just got kicked upside down.
Is that Tucker on the outside? Oh man, they're wrecking! Todd Madola can turn across the Budweiser machine. They're stacking up into the outside lane. Multiple drivers involved. Coming in. Arca brakes. Going into turn number 1. Everybody in the back half of the field is stacked up in this one.
From the air.
Yeah, it's Ken Rea in the Budweiser machine. I actually think that Kahn came across his nose. I might have to look at it again one more time just to make sure. But oh my goodness, man!
You think a massive stack up potentially in the field caused this one. That's exactly what caused this one. There we go. Whoops. Huge
Oh my
crash.
gosh!
Who was that went tumbling? Was that Kahn? That was Kahn.
Yeah.
I think that rivals Verstappen's flip record from Mount Panorama round 2.
Could have. We need to count.
Yeah, well, we'll get a chance.
Oh, nice slow-mo. I love the slow-mo. Look at that. I mean, the perfect launch
gravy.
angle right there to get under the car.
And then there's the grippy grass.
There's 1, 2,
3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Well, 7.5. We'll call this 7.5.
Oh.
Oh, roll it. There you go.
Nice.
There you go. There you go.
But he
Look
said he
at
did,
this.
which that's I'm gonna. Oh.
That's the. Remember when we were just talking about all the grippy
Man.
grass and how it needs to be fixed? That's from grippy grass. If we had ice grass, that car doesn't barrel roll like that. So it has some upsides. It has some upsides, but I don't think upside.
I think he had a toe. So
Yeah,
then,
I don't think you can
yeah,
drive
it was on the
after
front
that
stretch.
one.
That's
And then this,
fair. I didn't see a wheel fall off, but
and then this was Crawford. This is working back on, and he collected the chicken and rice guy's machine, and then slammed into Tishanis. And is there any more? Yeah, there was. There's 609 getting punted into the wall. Oh, he was already lifting off. Oh, he was lifting early too to try to avoid this. That's just wrong place, wrong time, and oh boy,
that's
a
an awesome
view.
angle. That's incredible.
Outside of Tucker, got a few cars going off just in the background. Oh, there we go. Look out, the 72 of Kameyer spinning around, and that brings out the caution again as Tomadol, came up and collected, I think, the 549 of Kyle Smith, and that was a heavy shot as well. Oh, few hard hits from Adol.
Is that Augustino that came in?
Everybody does, but now it looks like Ken Rea collecting Chris Bright, and that's what kicks all this off. There's Bright going around, and watch Rea fired up into the outside wall.
Goes to the bottom.
Oh, a lot of moving in the back, and one car hard into the outside wall. That's Corey Barrett climbing the fence down the backstretch. A wheel breaks loose and is sent scrambling. Luckily, not so. And yeah, right at the front, it all just falls apart. And I see Tanner Klein getting involved, and there's a few cars that got kicked upside down throughout this whole mess. There's one right there. There's just an awkward bounce with the apron, and everybody else just went flying in.
Yeah, Free just pinched slow. And the car on the outside or inside was coming up a little bit at the same time, but I don't know. Oh my goodness.
Good gravy. Then, it was Klein. Adam Klein, the other car that got flipped over. First pack, and right behind the Hornet's Nest, that is the second pack, and there's where the wreck's going to come. I knew he wouldn't make it back, and that's it. 5 laps to go. We're into overtime now as one of the chicken and rice guys getting spun around from the background, and he, along with others, Jeremy Castro, spun and stopped in the infield after it looks like a hard. Mateo Dupuis running with Bear Morton right there. They come together. Dupuis goes into the outside wall, and exactly as you mentioned, just crowding down, and it results in all this. And, okay, admittedly, some incidents, like whoever that was in the cannabis car, just exacerbated the incidents by just not slowing down at all. But this is Deshanis, Graham Jordan, I believe, in front. There's Graham. Oh, wow. So sorry, that's Tanner Klein up the road, and Deshanis just looped it out of turn 2, and I think just gave it up. And Graham Jordan was already stopped on the front stretch, but it was Tanner Klein, the driver that spun around on the back straightaway.
Gonna have to get a look at what happened to Tanner here. He's got Chris Bright on his outside through 1 and 2. Working the bottom of the racetrack. It's a little bit on the apron there. Nothing too crazy though. Just kind of bobbing and weaving a little bit. But coming off the turn.
Lost it. It's a weird spot to lose it. I think he may have taken too much apron. Let's right on board. Let's be a good.
Not quite able to get that move done for P2. Just fell back in line as we look back at Gambrel going into the tire barrier. Not too hard a contact, and the down on his way.
Alex Harrison having this spin as well. We mentioned how loose these cars would be up and over the hill, and
looks to the inside there of Clayton going into the final corner. He just drives a little bit wide and takes out Clayton. Clayton taking the club route on the outside of the racetrack. Just got absolutely punted there from Crawford, and Crawford's in the outside wall too on the front straightaway.
I'm almost not surprised that Alex Crawford here, and it looks like he actually may have. Yeah, he lost that one already, and then just kicked the back end out, and I think he towards turn 1.
Was that a bad rejoin?
Corner. Oh, no.
Nope.
Klein just lost by himself. Oh, that's a heavy hit into the wall. Oh, Jordan looped. Oh, that was completely separate. So Jordan looped the back end, and Combs, I think,
Oh, and Josh Freed's under fire from Jay DeVries going into the final corner. They're side by side for P5. It looks like it's going to be Freed to the line as DeVries just pounds the inside fence.
They always say, oh, in more trouble. Oh, that's not good. Backing up into the field, the 45 going to get clothesline. And so will many others as we rocket away. And there's just too much to keep eyes on at the moment.
We're going to have to watch because we've been announcer jinxing just about everything.
Right there
right
almost
in front
was
of him,
one.
Campbell went around, and then Verstappen actually pushes off Agostino at the top of the hill. Almost 4 wide, almost going into the S's. Oh, there's contact. Harrison goes around. Looks like L and Verstappen are able to hold on to it. Verstappen in the grass just a little bit.
This is a while ago now, so this all kicked off. Right there is where it all got started, and this resulted in a mighty stack up underneath the bridge. And look at everybody just flying in, getting piled up. It was a messy, messy situation on the backstretch there. We'll try to find the other major pilots that we've had so far in this race as well. I believe we might have one with Greg Beckman.
Him going down into turn number 1 here. Oh, man. Kind of comes down, kind of gets ran up on a little bit through the exit of turn 1. Just got spun right around there.
And I'm willing to bet lost it in the sweeper here. Yes, sir. Oh, hard into where the wall juts out. And now it's that time of the hour. Oh, he had some help, too. Oh, well, more he helped himself. But Lucky Charms and Applejacks getting into it. And then we'll move to what happened to DeVries as, contact through the S's, and coming back on. Yep, there you go. Oh, and actually that was what happened to DeVries as well in the 96.
Oh, man, again.
Yeah.
Giovanni Romano, he's going to be coming through. I mean, he is just, contact between Asilian and Madole. Oh, through the exit of the S's, go figure. The inside of LeBlanc through the last corner. He's down to the inside. He slides out into LeBlanc, and he turns himself into the outside wall at the start-finish line. Nowhere for Combs to go. Big accident. And Madole, innocent bystander, Todd Madole gets taken out once again. Again, through the S's on the exit here. Just catches a little bit too much curb and goes head-on into the tire barriers there on the inside wall.
Oh, boy, this is down into turn 1. Oh, he's been hit by Morton and has nosed it hard into the fence. What happened to the 9? Or the 6, excuse me. Oh, some help from the cannabis racing machine of the number 74.
And I got to think for Chris to fight these guys, and unfortunately, through the exit of the S's, just loops that thing around on that right-hander. And just.
I think this was Lost Ball by himself up over the rise. Sure was.
Yeah, the elevation change just might have caught him out after that kind of.
Trying to fend off the Applejacks machine.
Oh, and our second place runner, accident. Big heavy contact into the outside wall.
That was strategy to send the Fuddruckers Mustang through into victory lane as he embeds it in the wall.
From Agostino, getting off the starting line really, really well, diving into turn 1, taking that spot from Ronenberg. Ronenberg lost out to Freed. Also another driver around. That's Campbell going around on the exit of turn 4. Oh! Bad rejoin across the racetrack, it seems, and he gets kind of sitter, goes wide on the exit of the corner. Alexander Hammond's having a tough time. And oh, man, Kameyer and Hannigan get together coming out of the corner. Multiple drivers involved in this one, going down into turn number 3. Ron Wolf and Austin Tucker. Oh, Austin Tucker goes around in turn 4, back in front of the field. Mailhot stuck behind him right now. That's going to give 2 positions to Verstappen. Probably not, though. But we're going to get that look back at Gambro coming out of the final corner right behind Jeremy Castro here, coming out of turn number 10. Yeah, that curve seems to be upsetting a lot of people. You tag that thing, it pushes you out a little bit wide, you put some wheel into it, it kind of...
Around the outside of the hairpin, you can make that work if you can get the power down. He will not. He'll spin it out. Gets tipped around by Brooks Clayton to boot, and madhouse as we thunder up in towards turn number 1 for the first time tonight. Already a couple cars going around at the back. You take a look from the air down to the turn number 1. Tyler Carlton going around, and that's going to create a huge stack of 5 wide into turn number 1 as everybody scrambling and jogging position on the exit of these corners. This area shot the only way you can get a view of what's going on as we've got a parking lot. Somebody is upside down, and we're still crashing all the way down the long straightaway. 2, 3 cars now upside down, 4 upside down. Look at the top of the frame.
This is an unbelievable visual. This blip.
We're not done still.
They're still wrecking. Ron Wolf. Is that Ron Wolf that got turned? Yeah, upside down cars can't do anything. Oh my goodness, just all the way through the turns 2 and 3 kink.
Yeah, and just a good old how do you do to the Popeyes machine sends him around.
Here, DeShaney's right behind him. Yeah, I don't know if that room was ever really there, but DeShaney's took it anyway, and unfortunately LeBlanc gets spun sideways. Oh, DeShaney's almost went over there. It looked like he got popped up a little bit. Just ended up being like a jack got put under him. But
this spin out of the final corner, got up on the curb, and he got a bit of help from Ben Williams. That curb on the inside of turn 10, it is so deceptive, but with the low speeds, as we see Josh Free get kicked around, and that's going to cause a parking lot down at the turn 3 hairpin.
But for him to jump all the way up to 8, that's majorly impressive from Eric Ronenberg to get damage done. Oh no, that's not Clayton, that's Carlton on the inside wall. He
says, oh boy, yeah, Corey Bear getting into one of the Canvas Racing cars, and they got some help himself from, I think that was one of the Chicken Runners machines as he worked himself back onto the racetrack. He is the one that got into Ron Wolf. You can already see Cillian rejoining the circuit just up the road, so that's what spun.
He's got Todd Madole on his back
Same
bumper,
deal.
and Madole shipped him out of the group, which Cillian's already 2 laps down, so.
Move up the inside of the Canvas Racing car of Shopler, and as he heads something from Condi, no sir, loops that all by himself. This is Puff's machine, and clipped that curb, spun it around, and he has found the wall in a big way, and the yellow flag is out. Safety car deployed.
But man, this track is just so lit going down to turn 1. We got so many headlights going around. Oh man, is that Shopler going backwards? Oh, is that Castro getting turned in the inside wall? Multiple drivers involved towards the outside of turn 1. 4 guys into the outside wall, in the dirt, in the gravel, trying to get it righted back onto the racetrack. Dash in between the steering wheel, you can get a good look at the number there.
He clipped the curb and overcorrected hard into the wall. Coming together. Vienen. Whoa! Cillian. He just came from left field. There was nothing that he did wrong there. And then
going into the final race of the year, every position matters at that point, right? You got to make sure that you keep the spot as they're side by side for the race lead now. Like I said, it's big for Ronenberg for the championship. He wants to go into the.
Oh!
As soon as I was saying this is his opportunity, he's got to, and even if you're out of it for the championship, you still want to finish as high as possible, right? You want to. Oh man, that was
McClendon getting into the back of one of the Canvas Racing cars and nearly taking out Gambrel.
I am so sorry. Take the position back, and Kampmeyer just said, "Screw you! I'm driving straight into the back bumper of your race car while it stopped." So I mean, like that's indefensible, right? That's just Adam Klein's fault. Period. But it's a racing incident. It's not like he did it with malice. Obviously, because he wouldn't have stopped, and Kampmeyer just beelined it straight for him.
He upshifted too. I mean, that's about as clear as it can get.
Whenever you start getting frustrated, you start making, man, is that 2 Canvas Racing machines going around on the front straightaway, and now Carlton in it as well. That was trying to hold on to it, but it looked like he was trying to slow down so that the checkered flag would come out. Didn't quite time it right, and he just got the white flag instead. So Romano's going to have to make one more circuit here. And you just throughout the field, Vietnam and Dupuis kind of going at it.
Oh, and around will go Dupuis, kicking the back end down, and he'll spin that 763, and he is climbing to the final corner. Swing it in, cut that apex. Cleggs too wide, and Brownlee's been turned.
It looked that way, but he just did it all himself. I don't know if he downshifted whenever he shouldn't have, and it just gave a huge jolt to the rear tires, or if he just got way too hard on the gas pedal. But coming up the hill here through the left-hander, I believe that Jeremy Castro just lost it coming up the corner, didn't hit the curb or anything, just got a little sideways, spun it back around. Jason L tries to avoid on the inside, but I think he got turned by who was that behind him? Was it Adam Klein, I believe, in that red, and unforced errors. I mean, they're not getting challenged by anybody. I mean, I guess Chris Bright was challenging them there, but wasn't that close, and he just loops it right around. We saw Carlton go off the racetrack as Beckman loops it around at the top of the hill. And we saw Jeremy Castro lose it on the first lap. I mean, what's going on with the race leaders here in Heat 2?
It's a difficult racetrack, right? It's a deceptively long clips the grass, and cuts across the nose of Corey Baird. That's what sends him out wide and into the grass, and then Blake Gamble just loses the back end all by himself. That was working down out of turn 2. 1, Corey Baird trying to go the long way around, and it looks like he cut in across Evan Campbell, spun them both around. And
by his name right, but hey, it sounds good to me. But Williams hold. Oh man, he's going around. Applejack's going around right, then left, cuts it back across the circuit, off the racetrack, doesn't collect any competitors.
Take a look as this all came together. I think Adam Klein was one of the first few that kicked things off. You already see the 71 car off, and right there he nicked a stop flying donuts machine, and that is what really started to bottle up the rest of the pack here. We'll see who that 71 is. I believe that to be Evan Campbell, though, that really kicked this thing off in earnest as this was working down through Monroe Ridge.
Oh, man, just multiple people going off track, and yeah, he looped it, and he was the only one that didn't go off track. I mean, he did a good job locking it down, but you know, you're coming out of that corner, you're drifting out wide to the
balcony, and whoa, boy, well, one car, I believe that to be Brooks Quayton, is way off in the background as he will be truly off and playing with some of the Desert Snakes out there, and he's not the only one. You got a big pileup coming around turn 3, so that's where your pileup happened on lap number 1. Meanwhile, oh, here we go! 4th and 5th getting turned. 4, 5, 6 off, all at the same point on the racetrack. Sends it in deep, and right there, just bobbles coming up the hill. It spins around to the Budlong car, having a bit of a spin as well, and Carlton will be stuck there for a while now as he was trying to get himself sorted. As you see just off the road for Steuben monster trucking some of these curbs, and it's like I told you, right? The back ends just want to swing around when you get to corners like these, and all the teams as we work up the hill through turn 3, and around goes Combs, tail end of the field. We'll spin that 32 machine out. Watch the rejoin.
That thing come back on the racetrack, not taking anybody out. Really good car control there, but you know, you get in these little battles where you go, oh man, is that Romano spinning out Williams off the nose of the championship leader?
Wide as they dived up towards Rabbit's Ear, and there's the contact. Spinning the 42 and the 7 off and into the grass, back onto the racetrack. A couple cars having to go evasive.
Between those three, tough break though, this late in the going. Gonna be tough to make up those spots.
Take a look, they all just came together and spun off in sync. It looked like one of them started to go around and everybody else just went off in complete sympathy.
There's way more spots. You have to make up so much more time. It's so frustrating, but man, we still got hard racing in turn 1. We might see another one. Jason L goes around and he cuts it back across the field. I think that was LeBlanc that he hit. I don't know, it was a Brown race car. It was not LeBlanc. I think it was Bailly or Campbell. No handle on it whatsoever. It was bouncing, joyriding. I mean, look at this thing bounce through the center of the corner off the curb. Just able to catch it enough to go down the back of pit road, but unfortunately, I don't know if I've ever seen somebody throw away a race like that.
He tried to go, he tried to cut it out back on through the pit wall, and I want to look back at this one more. Harrison, Condi and Harrison around. He's going to find the inside wall. That's up at the Budweiser balcony.
Start that deep in the field.
Oh, Sean Bradley having a big spin. That was at the final corner. Sends the 00 car way off and into the weeds.
I get a look back at Tanner Klein.
Good call, by the way. That was Tanner Klein, it looked like, as he loops the back end and...
Oh, my!
Oh, he monster trucked it up.
The caution's out. The caution's out.
Oh, are you kidding me?
The racetrack really good behind Alex Cofford. But man, they're battling further back in the pack. Multiple drivers off. Castro involved. Condi involved. Oh, multiple drivers up the hill getting taken out. Dupuis